Aquarius, welcome to your Sunday Shuffle. Like always, these are general collective readings, not one-to-one private, which is to say it may or may not resonate, so take what resonates, leave what does not. And I do hope you enjoy the lovely calming sounds of rain. I know I do. We've got full-on rain all day today. I love it. Absolutely love it. What's going on, please? Show me that Aquarian energy. What's going on, please, for Aquarius? Show me. Show me, Aquarius, please. The world. Wow. Overarching concept. Things are closing. Things are opening. King of Wands. It's with you. You haven't made up your mind yet. Okay. So opening up with that world energy, you know, as soon as that's in somebody's overarching concept, okay, the general overview, the umbrella of the energy, if you will, my first thought is, are we opening, are we closing, or are we somewhere in between? Okay. The cycles represent all that. That's what it is to be a cycle, right? Three of Cups, Nine of Wands, the King of Wands. Energetically speaking, you are looking at something that you both desire and resist simultaneously. It's kind of like saying, I want this, no I don't. Okay? And that's all right. That conflict does happen, 100%. It's just a matter of understanding why. And you want to know the same. And I think that's hence the opening. Am I going to keep this going? Do I like it that much? Can it be modified? Should it be shut down? So let's see what you're thinking about. Show me that world, please. Show me that world. Show me that world. Show me that world, please, for Aquarius. Show me that world, please. Show me that world. Seven of Wands, the Ace of Cups, the Hierophant, you know. There's an indication here that we understand that whatever this is going to require a certain commitment of the heart in order to continue on with it. It has the potential for you to completely open up towards it. You know this. You don't question that. The idea is if you should. You haven't made up your mind, but you haven't shown me full willingness to open your heart towards it, which in your mind, whatever this is, requires commitment from the heart. Ace of Cups, the Hierophant. So he represents commitment in all forms, guys, not just marriage. It's anything that we say yes or no to, and we mean it, we believe it, because we understand it's correct for us, or it's a representation of our higher good. I am choosing to engage in this, to acquire this, because I understand it's coming from a good place in me that says, this speaks to me. I know it speaks to my higher self and best intentions. And the Seven of Wands, we got some blockage here. And the idea is if I can't open my heart towards this and commit to it, if it doesn't mean something more to me, it should be closed off, or it has to be completely opened. And in your spiritual energy, it says to be completely open to this means I have to commit my heart to it. And you don't know if you're in that space. I think it's a good thing to ask yourself. You're not taking it for granted. You really want to know. Does this mean something more to me? Because once it's in my heart, it's gonna be in there. So if I can't completely open up towards it and mean it, I should probably let it go. Let's see that Three of Cups. So I see you connecting with somebody emotionally. Okay, there might be some passion in here. King of Wands, sure. But you're like, in order to keep it going, it has to be more than that. Respectively. Show me that Three of Cups, please. Once more, keeping in mind this may or may not apply to you. Okay? It may not be romantic, guys. It might be this is something or someone I need to choose to keep in my life or not. Again, that still requires the commitment of the heart. Okay? Let's see that Three of Cups, please. The Knights of Cups, the Three of Swords, the Fool. See, there's that trepidation here. It's like we can't seem to move forward without some fear in it. The Knight of Cups suggests vulnerability. It suggests emotionality. And Three of Swords, you're showing me stabs in the heart there. There's a part of you that you're finding really hard to open up towards this, even though it feels light. It does feel light. And it feels lovely. And it feels romantic a little bit, sir. And it is requiring vulnerability and the openness of the Fool to really generate maximum activity. And whatever this connectivity is, it could be what looks like essentially a promising start in a relationship, or even if it's been going, the idea is, can I connect to it deeper on an emotional level, and you're struggling with it. part of you is very tempted to give more of your heart to this, okay, to deepen the connectivity at the emotional level, and another part of you pulls back and withdraws. And so it's kind of like you're doing a dance in the heart here. You know, am I going to keep this or am I not? Am I going to really open up towards this or not? There seems to be some trust issues here. I'm not saying it's a judgment call. What I'm saying is that there's reason. You either have unresolved pain in your heart and it's making you hesitant to open up to something else, or the person whom you're connecting with has caused trust issues with you. And while you might enjoy connecting to it in some way in terms of fire and water, low level, because of those trust issues, you don't know if you can take it further. So again, going back to that junction, can I open up further into this, or do I need to close it off? Okay, that's the question here. So I'm seeing your heart space go back and forth in this particular dance as you try to work it out. So you have not completely relinquished it, but you don't know if you can give more of yourself to it. That's really it. That's all I'm seeing so far. Let's see that Nine of Wands. 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 And I have to tell you, honey, once you have trust issues like that with somebody, you really have to do a job. You really have to make an effort to keep your heart open towards it. If there's reason that you should, or that you understand that it's worth it. And that is a job. That is a heck of a job, to keep your heart space open and not allow that mistrust to take over. So you have to know. You have to know it's worth your time, energy, and effort. If you're asking yourself that deeply, can I really open my heart towards this and mean it? We got to answer that. You got to answer that for you. Let's see that Nine of Wands, please. Here's the resistance, Two of Wands, the Ten of Wands. The more you delay, okay, the harder this decision is going to get. And you're feeling the weight of it. You are. So that tells me you are feeling some sort of pressure, whatever this connection is, to kind of make more movement in the heart space, or to leave it alone altogether. And here's the thing, the harder it gets, okay, the more we delay this decision, the more it amplifies your energy to exit. So that kind of tells me where you're leaning. I don't think you're in a space either to to either deepen the connection in this. Let's say you have no trust issues with this person. It's more like residual pain in you. That's not done yet. Do you want it to be done? 100%. Would you love to open up towards this more? Yes. Are you ready? No. That's one Aquarius. The other Aquarius I'm looking at, you have trust issues with somebody, but you're not ready to let it go. You want to know if your emotions can get back into a healthy place with this, because you really want to, but you're finding the trust piece very difficult, in which case you're still asking yourself, should I connect with it? And the more you resist it, the more difficult it gets, the more, energetically speaking, you are inclined to exit it. So that kind of tells me, while parts of this feel lovely, you don't know that it's worth it to stay. And this is something you have to figure out. All human beings need to do this at some point. I can either deepen this or I can't, and I need to know myself well enough to answer that question, so I don't waste any of my time and I don't hurt myself unnecessarily, or the other person. Or if they did hurt you, I don't want to stick around and do what they did and hurt them by playing along that all is well and I can continue to emotionally develop to this, and I know I can't. See what I'm saying? And the harder it gets, the more we delay with that Two of Wands, the more you're inclined to exit. Okay. So let's see that King of Wands, please. Let's see that King of Wands. To open up or not to open up? Here's the question. You know, and some people, depending on how far that connection runs, and the reliability on two people, trust issues can, of course, be overcome. Okay, but I don't know if you two have a connection like that. If it's just starting and you already have issues and you're already raising eyebrows, you already gotten red flags, honey, a little bit of romanticism and that sense of new journey energy just isn't worth it if you can't trust it. There, I said it. Okay? It's only going to be able to go so far, as we see. Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, the Nine of Wands. Yeah. Page of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and Nine of Wands. You seem to understand the frustration that the more blockage that it's kind of like your natural defense. I just don't see you in a place where you can be more receptive to whatever this is. Bless you, you're trying, but I don't want you to find reasons to stay. It doesn't feel right. I know you have moments with it, Three of Cups and the Knight of Cups and the Fool, that feel, oh no, I gotta stick with this. There's something in here, and there is something in there, but not enough for you to trust it or fully open yourself towards it. And I don't want you to cause yourself unnecessary pain and frustration by doing this back and forth dance anymore. Do keep in mind, and your Queen of Swords in you is really starting to recognize that Nine of Wands energy, the blockage and the frustration, and the more we delay, the harder it gets to move on. But also, for that same reason, wanting more to move on from this. One's kind of playing into the other, you know. This is getting too stressful, I should probably exit it, or I can't make up my mind, so I should probably exit it. Your King of Wands has started to invest in that same level of knowledge. Okay. So while you might have some underlying low-level feelings for this that feel good and light, and even passionate, it's kind of like saying, is it worth it, though, if I can't really give myself to it? These are all very reasonable questions. You know, I hope you find the answer you're looking for. It looks like you will relatively soon. We are currently under the influence of the lunar eclipse. May that help you. May that guide you. I'm seeing that influence for a lot of folks right now. Okay. Take time to breathe out. I agree. Disseminating moon. Spend more time with you. And ask yourself, how do you reflect on this connection when you're not in its proximity? What are your real thoughts and feelings on it when you're alone and there's no pressure to move forward in it? Or it doesn't have its fun moments that are light and make you forget about the negativity. When you are by yourself, take time to breathe out and ask yourself, Aquarius, honey, let's be honest with ourselves. Whatever this is, does it really have room to grow? And do we want it to? Because it feels good now, but is it going to carry into something further? Like I said, open up, close it off, or keep it going. It's already opened, and you struggle with, do I keep it going? And if so, I am going to expect something further down the road, and so are they. Am I going to be able to give it to this? Because part of me has trust issues somewhere, either from old pain of the past or with this person directly. So again, I think you are arriving to the conclusion that is correct for you. And if you really have to resist emotional development that much, that kind of tells you what your answer is, doesn't it? And mind you, the more stressed you get about it, the more inclined you are to leave it. So again, what does that tell you? Okay? Take time to breathe out, okay? Your commitment is being tested. It's not always what we think it is. That's exactly what it is, commitment to the self. Can you commit your heart to this, yes or no? Think of how many times you're showing me rough edges around this concept. Your sense of commitment to yourself is being tested. Is this what you want? Because you need to stand up for it or decline it. So I know that there's temporary feel-good moments in here, but not enough for you to fully open yourself towards it. Okay? I'm just seeing kind of repetition at this point. All right. Anything else in here, please? Cat. Jealousy, gossip. There's something in there. It kind of makes you hard to let this go because part of you desires it. But you don't know. This is cat. I think it would be better represented as antitrust because of jealousy, gossip. Okay. Antitrust. Between what you've seen and or heard in this situation, you're finding it hard to see that it's something that's reliable and trustworthy for you in the long term. And here's the thing with the moose. Acceptance and eccentric. You can either accept this as an eccentric situation that you need to develop a stronger comfort zone with and deepen it, or accept the situation for what it is and exit it if it's not correct for you. Again, it's a discerning process. Let's see. Nourishment and transformation, scarab in reverse. It's one of those things we're going to have to accept this as it is if it seems like an eccentric or unusual situation. That does happen because you seem to realize whatever this is isn't going to have a transformative aspect that you don't know if you can sign up for. Okay. Will it transform and nourish you in the way you need to in the long term? That's why I'm saying your commitment to yourself is being tested. Even though I know you have moments where it feels correct. Excuse me, correct. Anything else in here, please? Yeah, I know that's what's on your mind, honey. I got it. You know, if it cannot be transformed, should it be let go? Okay. Bad health. Yeah, I don't want this to come back to you later. In terms of bad health, the bill we have to pay for how we mistreat ourselves, that kind of thing. You have to keep in mind with the oracles, guys. These are little bridges to the main picture. So it either suits you or it doesn't, yeah? But the idea is bad health, and you don't want this to take away from you or make you feel bad if you choose to commit yourself to it and it doesn't come out the way you want. Especially if you know it's not going to change. It's a little outside the box. You don't know if it's going to really nourish you in the long term, that kind of thing. You know you're going to have to accept it as is. That kind of thing. So, there you go. All right. Just a couple today. Not too many. The Mundane of Cancer, the Arrow of Sag, also Cupid's arrow is trying to strike you. I see that. The Feather, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, Frog with a coin in its mouth in terms of prosperity. And then, of course, the big heart. Aquarius, honey, I hope this helped you. Put in the comments as you see fit. Take care. Be well.